Okay, we're live. Hey, Matthew, you want to do the introduction today?
No, you can.
Only I
Please.
can. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the Advancement of Civilization Effort ACE Live talk show for Sunday, June 5th, 2016. I think this is number 22. Today we had planned on having a special guest, Maeva Faj, for to discuss the topic shifting the planet together. She is a humanitarian and yoga teacher, but there has been a change in plans. She hadn't understood that it was a live talk show that we were going to do today. She thought that that wasn't until the future. So I actually had a long discussion with her this morning. It went really well, and she's going to be joining us on October 2nd. For our second call of the fall lineup with a little bit more of a presentation to give us. So today we're going to have a little bit more of an organic discussion between our team members, taking it back to the homebrew. And Michelle was just talking to us about the floating community, and also I know that Matthew has some things to talk to us about. He has had a lot of developments on the business side in the past couple of weeks. So I'll let Michelle reintroduce the topic that he was just talking to us about, and then I'll let Matthew talk a little bit more, and then maybe we'll end with me talking about my discussion with Maeva. Okay? And anything else?
Okay, sounds good. So hello everyone. Well, the topics was coming from to a place where I try to set up a basic system, rules for a new society or new community, and working on the economic side, with a lot of activity also on the Swiss side, where the people are voting today for the best universal base unconditional best revenue type of thing.
Is that today they're voting on that?
Yeah, that's today.
Oh.
And so you have a bunch of people that try to see new ways of evolving the civilization, in a sense to be more going towards a more fulfilling type of life, where you have the right to exist, where you have more community gift base of culture. Sharing culture, that type of thing. And so there's a lot of programs of building up communities on land, because most of the people think that if we go back to nature, then we will be more, how should I say, more connected, and then we'll have more smaller community that will be able to operate in more smooth and human way. However, if you look at all the studies that the urbanism or the city proponents guys advance, they think is that the most efficient way for human people to live is urban area. So there is kind of contradiction, right? Either you go back to nature and then build little eco-village, or you go reorganize the way cities work in a more smooth way with maybe green building and so on. And on that topic, I was looking at a couple of new trends to be able to build up community, and that's what we call it floating communities, meaning that if we go to an abundant system, if you look at every piece of land, they're already taken by governments type of thing. And so it's very hard to build something. You have to find rooms, and then you still have the scarcity of land, at least on the legal level. Whereas on the ocean, again, a comment?
Definitely in Switzerland.
Exactly, which is between all mountains. And as
where
opposition
one
in the
square meter is
ocean,
about $1,000 a square meter, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And in the ocean is the opposite. I mean, it's unclaimed, it's international, it's even protected. Uh, and so if we think about totally differently, where we can build cities, floating cities that are totally organic, that can change dynamically based on the needs, it might make a lot of sense, because you can grow, you can expand, you can shrink as you go. And also you can create floating governments on your own international water, where you can be all human, and then you can have different type of legal setup that will be very, very useful for advancing the civilization and then doing experimental on all the levels. And so if I can share my screen in, because there's a couple of examples of what we are talking about. I don't know if you can see.
We see.
So this is something that also has a very low footprint on the environment, because you build a series of floating house that you can adjust, I mean, put together, and then if you want to take them away, you can take them away, and then you have this type of lagoon just totally restored as these natural things. You can move things around and so on. You have plenty of others approach where you have a project here, like that's a mosque, a floating mosque where you have the water recirculating for cooling the place within very hot area. I think this one is at Abu Dhabi. So there is a lot of projects that are available when you do floating things, and you can adjust.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So you said you could like take them apart. Like how mobile are these things? I mean, how much do they weigh? And
well, it depends on how you want how you want your project to think. You can set up something where you have normal house, but that can be tucked together like Lego pieces. You can have floating school that you can bring in, you can bring out, so all different facilities. The guys that was doing the talk was saying it's like your cell phone. You got plenty of apps on it, and that make it your cell phone. You can have a city, the same thing. You've got the city apps where, okay, you need a city hall, you need a theater, you need a whatever, a pizza shop, and then you bring them out, you adjust, you can control it based on the flow of people. So it's very dynamic and it's very flexible. So initially, I think as a community, you can have all your zone that we were talking in the past, you know, the pure zone and the big area, and you can have like just Legos and then build those up on the side. So I think it's a very, very interesting and neat approach, and I wouldn't mind, to start one of the projects on the S with those Lego pieces. And we can start very small, in a sense that can be just scalable. The Lego pieces can be very small. It's just the number that will make it grows over time.
What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, that is very interesting. I mean, I just shared something in my LinkedIn. I have got an article on this one, actually. I mean, in Amsterdam, somebody was shown
floating
some
tower, right?
What tower?
Yeah, floating. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it is the model was for the cattle. Did you understand? To get the food grown in the water. So floating agriculture platform that they have made in Amsterdam. So I just shared that today to my.
Yeah, when you start about building a sustainable life on the ocean, then it's different. Is that you have all the algae, you have all the different type of agriculture that we probably don't know much today, but I think there is a huge area of discovery
Possibilities
there.
there. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think
Wonderful.
all energy-wise, it's probably pretty easy because if you consider the ocean like a solar panel that collect the sun energy, and so by thermal Johnson junction, whatever, you can extract electricity, you can extract energy, you can have a lot of things from that to sustain the needs of this floating community. I think the main points, probably that is the trickiest one, is drinkable water. So I don't know how good are we in desalinating the water.
I mean,
But
that
it's an
technology has to
area
be.
that probably will improve over the years.
Is it a very energetically taxing process
Today, no.
to separate?
Today,
Huh?
yeah, today is very, I mean, I don't know, there is probably a few different techniques, but I think they are all more or less, I mean, they're all inefficient in terms of energy in for water out.
What about some kind of system? Have you seen the movie Waterworld?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
No.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I know in the very beginning of the movie, it's like a water world and everybody's just floating around, and the guy is like, the very beginning of the movie, he's peeing in this kind of like little machine, and so his pee gets converted into drinkable water.
Yeah, that's for sure. That part probably, because with osmosis of your own pee, I'm pretty sure you can extract this, but it's not enough to sustain probably all the water needs, right? Because it's just recycled. You have to compensate for the evaporation, right? Especially in an area where there's a lot of sun.
What about, living on land would eventually seem like you'd miss it, right?
No, but the nice thing is that I understand will have always a combination of two, because you can always, you probably will be attached or close to the land no matter what. But that will shift the things where you got people that has the old society where everything is based around property, ownership, and that type of thing. All the capitalism is based on that. If people are living on water, then the land is free for everyone. Assume that you move all the cities, everything in all the cities, all the work, all the workplace on ocean, and then you keep the land just for enjoyment. It's a big, gigantic parks.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good idea.
And so where there's no ownership, it's all free, and that type of thing. And for sure, you can mix and grow some stuff on land, but also you do the same on seas.
Sounds good.
We have to adapt.
Yeah, myself, I love the ocean, so that's probably would be a very nice thing.
Yeah, I love the ocean, and I also love tropical climates. So, that's where I'm migrating in the end. ACE, if it's following me, it's going towards the tropics, no matter what. But eventually, it might start in the States, go to Switzerland and India, but in the end, it's going to end up in the tropics.
So I was willing to
several satellites.
submit those.
So
what do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I want to go, I was talking to you before about how it's one of my dreams to go to one of these places in, like, Bora Bora or, Bali, where they have the floating houses. So that's like my dream, is to go to one of those like floating houses places. So that sounds like a great idea to me.
But living for years, how will you think about that?
Well,
I mean,
in my experience, when I'm out in the sun, like on an island, and eating fruit and drinking coconut water and maybe a
Alex
little.
is a solar panel, right?
I mean, I'm a solar panel, and once I get into that situation, I'm kind of like, I just like live on light, and I'm just like shining and radiant and happy, like nothing, like life is just a cool breeze, and in time is like infinite, and like my life is infinite, and I don't think about anything else. It's just like complete bliss, like I could live in an environment like that, like completely blissful forever, like I've even contemplating going out and living in caves and stuff like that. The only reason I ever even left some kind of a situation like that is because I didn't have the community with me, for like the emotional support. When I was in those situations, I was always surrounded by people that were, in one way or another undesirable. So I guess I still had to go back out into the world to find my people, and now I'm attracting more and more of them. So we're coming together, and eventually, hopefully, we'll move out to the tropics together.
yes.
Don't move all around, right? Go
Huh?
with the flow. Go with the flow.
Glow with the flow. I love the mountains too. The mountains, especially very high mountains of like, the Himalayas and, Asia, they have another energy that's very, very special. So, I mean, I'm a nomad. If out of anybody that, that's in the world, I'm probably one of the nomads that, so I love the mountains. I love the tropics. I love the city. I love, I like to be able to move too. So, but one thing's for sure, there's two places in the world that I have felt the most like thriving, harmonious, blissful, happy, and that was in Dharamsala, India, at the foot of the Himalayas where the Dalai Lama lives, and in the tropics, well, on an island in Brazil, right? So, so those are two very contrasting climates, but I love them both. I'll probably always want to go back and forth between the two polarities, but yeah.
That is wonderful.
Mhm.
Dharmasala is a place that we can definitely we can find something very very similar to our idea.
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
No, I've been to the close by the district. I mean the state.
Himachal Pradesh.
Yeah. Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the energy is so like pure, frequency-wise up there. It's just like, whoa, and it's not coming from the sun. Like when you're in the tropics, it's coming from the sun. When you're there, it's coming from the earth. It's like really like vibrating from like the crystals and the it's coming from the earth. It's a different energy, but it's like, oh my God, it's so like all through you. It's like, wow.
Every mountains area have a lot of telluric energy, right?
I would say that the Swiss mountain energy is like 5% of what I felt when I was in the Himalayas. I was like, it's so diluted compared to what I felt in the Himalayas, like near the Dalai Lama. It's just like there's no.
Just the Dalai Lama was not there. That's about it, because it's probably the same type of mountain, same age, same formation.
No, there's something really, really, and as a matter of fact, I mean, the Himalayas in themselves, like where I was there was, I mean, they're just higher. They go up to like 8,000 meters. I mean, it's just it's It's so different. Like, it's so different. Like, you do not get the same, like, I mean, you just get this
Yeah.
feeling in you that pierces through your
Yeah,
body and all of your chakras that just, like, opens you up. Like, whoa, I'm breathing for the first time in my entire life. Like,
So
and
would you
I
go to
didn't get that
Denali, it
feeling.
would be the same.
I don't know Denali. I didn't get that feeling in any mountain in Switzerland, and I went on some pretty high mountains, and I like walked on glaciers and like did ice climbing, and I had some. I mean, it opens you up, but it's nothing compared to what I felt in Dharamsala.
Okay. Well, it's another kind of altitude, that's for sure.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't an attitude. It had nothing to do with like. I mean, it had nothing to do. It's like a drug. It's like I got off of the bus when I was there, and it's like I was on a drug. Like I literally felt like different. Like I had taken something. It was, and it's just like you feel drunk, but like pure. It's so. And on top of that, there's all these little vortices. Like you see, like. You know, there's all these little black holes where you can see like your face turning into other people's faces, and like, I mean, it's just like these vortices of energy, like, I don't know, magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields. It's incredible. Like you can, everything sounds like, it sounds so much clearer. Like the echoes, like it like echoes in your brain, the sounds of people talking, and like it's just like. Whoa! It's a different like, it's a different manifold. It's a different like.
Yeah, I'm sure that there is, I mean, other spots that are, I mean, like that amplifying, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
Easter Island, all those areas, you know, that are known to be very active.
Exactly. Oh my God! I'm getting like, I have goosebumps. Like I have chills going like up through my spine just remembering it. I just like, oh, I've got like, look at my goosebumps.
yeah. I can see that. Yeah. I mean,
Okay, any other
that is fantastic.
question
I
on
mean,
this floating nomadic community?
I think we need to float to the Himalayas.
Well, then there will be on the how do you call it, hot air balloon, right?
The what?
The hot air balloon suspended community.
Yeah. Islands in the sky. We
Well,
can
it's
develop
easier
that
to
technology.
float something than to fly something. Definitely.
Why don't we can develop that technology? That would be very lucrative, right? To develop some kind of like floating islands, like Vamanas.
Yeah.
yeah, Vimana would be one of the best one that we can make, and we can definitely market it very well.
Right. We should make some Vamanas.
Yes.
Hover cities.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do with a special international whatever station, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we can make it more efficient though.
Well, more. Their objective is also make them efficient, right?
Yeah. We can make it commercial. We can market it, right?
Well, that's SpaceX, right?
Wonderful. Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. Yes.
Well, I'll start with my little inflatable city.
Sounds good. Hey, Matthew, you want to tell us a little bit more about your advancements, your new, all of your things that we can congratulate you on?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was just building up my network in LinkedIn for last 3 weeks, and I have at the moment I'm connected with some 20,000 people all around the world in LinkedIn.
And how many was it? It was, I remember about 2 weeks ago you had what, like 7,000 people?
Yeah, it is increasing. The rate of people coming to my my connection is increasing. The rate is very high. I mean,
you got like 13,000 connections in a week or something.
Yeah, it is now more than 1,000 people joining in a week. I mean, in a day. I mean,
You're a magnet.
yes, it is getting attracted. So many people is getting attracted, and I mean, it is good for us. Good for us. I mean, we can get some people out of it.
Yeah, how do you see us doing that?
What did you ask
How,
me?
how do you see us doing that? How do you see it being good for ACE? How do you see us using that?
Yeah, slowly that we have to have more information available to the people that I have already in connection. So maybe we have to do some kind of campaign, some very good campaign, so that people can really come to our website, and they can really start interacting with our members. So I think we should have a good designing material, design the material so that people can really see very visibly our name, and we can bring them to the our website, and then we will get a few people really making good connection with us. I have scientists, environmental people, like that. Lot of people are there among that connection.
So the initial connection is, do you distribute some content already, or I mean, what is the hook that get them connected, at least for now?
Yeah, at the moment I just use already what we have as banners in the Facebook and other places related to our Sunday calls and things like that. So I post most of the days so that
So
some people can either contact me or something like that. But yeah,
so those 10,000 people, they are basically interested. They have at least an interest in what we are doing, right?
Well, Matthew is
yes, yes,
posting
yes.
every day, but you're not always posting directly related to ACE, right? You're
Yeah.
posting just general.
Yes, and now yeah, I'm really posting most of the time what is coming to my coming out of my connections related to our idea, some good technologies and good things that that is going along with us. So I'm sharing like that, but definitely I can start sharing our direct ACE visions through my connections, but I think I should get some help from somebody who can definitely design some banners, so that colorful one and some attractive one, where we have some kind of information really there that can attract people to our website or directly have more connection with us. Yeah.
Hmm. Sounds like a good idea. Um, I'll do what I can always, and I guess we can be on the lookout for other people that can help us as well. Obviously, just
Yeah.
bringing. I think the more people that we bring into our call, the more we can motivate people to become proactive with our shared goal, right?
Yes. Yes. That is true.
So I don't know if you know any graphic designers around that we can invite to our call, even.
Well, in the 10,000, I'm sure they are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
That Yeah, that I can check it out, because a lot of designing people are there, but I have to definitely I should have a kind of personal talk to invite them, and we can see
hmm
that channel. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we can see it, and I mean, it can also just come to us organically as well, just very naturally. Whatever we
hmm
feel inspired to do, and we do what we can. Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
so great. Um, What else? Okay, so Matthew also wrote me up a little article that I'm going to be able to cut into a few little excerpts to put in our newsletter. So I'm preparing to launch a monthly newsletter for the fall, at the same time as our hangouts, launching our fall hangouts. I wanted to do it for already this June, but I think that's just too short. So I'd like to really prepare a couple, like a template, and prepare a few months almost in advance some of the content, and then just fill in like the current events as things are happening. So I'm working on getting a newsletter launched for the fall, as well as now I know I've gotten out my notebooks, and so that's on my project list to do, is to compile the works that I have into a set of bylaws so that I can register our organization. So I've already pretty much written the structure of what the organization is. I just need to put it in a little bit more of a formal template and finish the business plan. I started the business plan online for the nonprofit organization. So yeah, all of that. And at the moment, I'm not really working on banners and stuff. I don't really feel inspired to make any new banners. I spent a lot of time making banners in the past, and I'm kind of happy with just using what I have for now, even though they're kind of being recycled and getting older. I'm putting a little bit more energy into
well, the first artist, graphical artist that we will have, we'll redo them, right?
Exactly. Once we have a graphic artist.
Yeah, we should have, because I am really familiar with a lot of posting which is coming in LinkedIn, and I can see the difference between what we post and what we can see out in the very attractive postings are coming up there, and they get a lot of views. So we should do something little more better way in designing, so that we will get really exposure.
Hi, Oscar. Welcome to our call.
Hey, say hey. He wants to come
Oscar.
into the screen. Do you have a nice nap?
Hey.
Yeah? You have a nice nap? Now you want to just crawl around everywhere, huh?
So all these people that are for shifting the humanity, right?
What?
Because all these people is to help us shift the humanity, right?
Yeah, I mean, shifting civilization requires humanity and civilization to shift itself, basically. So really, we just need to enlist humanity, you know.
Well, that's how you shift humanity. You just enroll, right?
Huh?
That's how you shift humanity. You just enroll them.
Enlist, yeah. I mean, enlist them into their, they enlist themselves in their new projection of humanity and civilization.
Okay. So humanity is bound to advance, and so how you advance civilization is just by having them joining us, right?
Exactly. And joining our vision of an advanced civilization. You know, it's about, it's just about placing your energy, like representing your energy as a chip and saying, okay, I put it there, and once it's there, it gives more weight, it gives more gravity to that civilization. So the more people that are there, the more we shift humanity, one person at a time. So we are quanta, macro quanta. That's a new term.
Well, that's maybe microscopic quanta too. At the scale of the universe, we might not be macro.
Yeah, at the scale of the universe, we're definitely micro, for sure. Yeah, you're so cute. So, okay, let me talk about what I Yeah, what are you saying? Are you saying something? Let me talk about what happened with Maeva today. So I just explained to her what we are, and she understood a little bit more. And she's going to come on and talk to us about, her humanitarian endeavors and her yoga life, and she makes jewelry as well, which I think she donates some of the proceeds to charity. So anyway, it was really good. She really is in support of us. She wants to also talk to some people in the Geneva community about us and see if maybe they would like to come on to our calls. She's totally about us gathering all of our networks and making another, a stronger, wider network. And so she's going to do what she can. I've asked her to give us some kind of a discussion, maybe even a little tiny presentation when she comes in the fall. She's just a wonderful person. She's one of the pure light energy people that I know on this earth. And she's shining. You look at her and she's just shining. She's got she's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and she's just completely she's got this light energy about her. So I just love her so much. And yeah, so that was kind of the way that went. I talked to her for an hour, but we were just kind of catching up too, because we haven't had a real conversation in a couple of years. But yeah, that's that. And I've got a baby with a dirty diaper, so I need to kind of go take care of that. Do you guys have more stuff?
Take over.
Huh?
We can take over.
Okay, you can take over. I'll be back.
Yes.
Okay.
What I was thinking is that if we grow, I mean, I don't think it's more getting more people. We also need to organize ourselves to design the future, so to speak, to define exactly what we want and steer the group towards that, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the reason why we are not moving in as the pace that we would like, accelerating, even though everything is accelerating during those periods of time, is because we need to federate with the existing group. We need to get ourselves, flexible and then I don't know, but collaborate with existing structure, and that's already working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking that in Switzerland, there's a lot of groups, around permaculture, around whatever, meditation groups, all those things. I mean, they can be part of ACE easily.
I think one thing that's really interesting to reflect on as well is all of these people that Matthew is connecting with and contacting. We can assume that within every single person there is the light of ACE. And if we raise awareness about that, it will make that light grow.
Exactly.
Tiny light. But the more we make that light grow, the more strong it becomes, and it feeds itself. So, it's really important for us to act on all fronts. Gathering the people that are already making the changes, that are already fully invested. Gathering the people that are halfway in, halfway out. Also gathering the people that are just kind of discovering it, and really growing our network across the board.
Well, I'm also talking about the organization side. Is that you have the spider versus starfish type of neural system. We need to be the starfish of all the organization.
Can you elaborate a bit more? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? The starfish versus the spider?
the spider has a central neural system, and that everything is controlled by a central brain. And you cut that brain, everything, everything dies. Versus the starfish, where all the neural system is all distributed, and so there is no central command at all. And that's why you can even cut a part of the starfish. It might grow back, it might, and it might replicate, type of thing. And so if we have, because there is existing organization, and if you want to have a central type of thing, then it will be difficult to, it's not scalable, it will be difficult to grow. Whereas if you have a starfish of approach, it's just collecting and then connecting the pieces that's already existing.
Well,
so that's what I meant.
Right?
Yes. But we should, I don't know how, in practicals we can organize ourselves, but it's a question of having the tools, the way to embrace, in different groups that are already existing, and have just the ACE umbrella to provide extra extra services that we can have within ACE that they don't have as individual group, meaning connectiveness, meaning probably funds, meaning resources, that type of thing.
Sounds like a good idea. I think you're on the ball, both of you. I think everybody has their place, right? So, yeah, I think it's really good.
What the cat has to say?
Huh?
What's the cat has to say on that?
Yeah. Why do you keep taking my place, Alix? Why do you always take my place? Every time I sit down in it, I'm comfortable and you move me. Why don't I have my place in your community?
What's the name?
Kitty. Her real name is Zelda, but nobody calls her Zelda. We call her Kitty.
Okay, Kitty. Kitty is that's Kitty's place, huh?
Kitty likes to sit she just loves to explore. If there's something new that comes into the house, she sits on it. And if somebody else, if it's like somebody's got their chair, she likes to make it her chair as well. So.
Occupation, huh?
Yeah. Matthew, so why don't you give us a little bit of a status update on ACE-X connection. What's going on with that right now? Because you've kind of taken over the project.
Yeah. At the moment, anyway, I'm trying to do the marketing process for getting some clients. So if it is, I just wanted to complete the website first of all, and after that, my process is to create some databases, and this LinkedIn is a database process that I already initiated. So 20,000 connection is a very good database, in fact. The people who are really into IT industry is fully, I have the connection is full IT people. So that is a kind of very good database. Maybe in a matter of 6 months time, I may cover over 100,000. So that would be a very good database for me. And again, I think we have to complete the website. Then third, that we have to go for marketing. So marketing also I have to do, I think. I don't know, I have some plans because the previous company which I was working, I have a connection with the business development manager. Maybe we can pay some money and we can get clients. So that is what I'm thinking. So if he go out for getting more clients, so we can get 1 or 2 clients by paying some money to him. So I am looking that way to acquire 1 or 2 clients to work personally. Then that we can we can develop that to little more bigger one. Like, if we have more clients coming, actually we have to develop a little more better ways to really make it profitable. So database is acquiring, website has to be updated, then client has to be acquired. So these three process is what I see with my side of recruitment process with ACEX.
And so, how much money do you see that you need to get started? Like how much capital do you need?
Yeah, I mean, over a period of 3 months' time, I think at least a $5,000 would be a ideal amount that I myself can start with. If there is no too much expenses on paying salary to somebody, we can have a $5,000 to start with to get database and to pay for some money to the business development persons whom we can hire part-time. I mean, we cannot keep a full-time person for business development because that is not very profitable. So to get some company requirement, definitely we should have somebody. We should pay some money to somebody to get a client. So altogether, I think a $5,000 would make sense. Maybe monthly $1,000 for 3 to 4 months will definitely establish our business actually here in India.
But your database, you mentioned that you will do it with your network, right? You say you can start already with the 10,000 is kind of already existing database. Am I correct?
Yeah, yes. I mean, that is the LinkedIn database is actually not a paid database at the moment, so we don't have any contact number available there. So if we take a requirement from any company, they will require that we send the candidate within a week time. So if we request to somebody in the LinkedIn, there is no surety that we will get a reply in 1 or 2 days. So we should have a database which we can easily access and we find out a candidate for immediate requirement of any client. So I think one database is
when
definitely
we need. That would be email? When you say contact, is email or phone?
Yeah, we for example in LinkedIn, the connection that I have already acquired some 20,000 connection. That is a kind of I can send a message to them. There is no CV is attached to most of the profiles that in the LinkedIn. Did you understand that we cannot download the CV and find out their contact, and directly we don't have any direct contact with the people in the LinkedIn. But if we go
anyway, you cannot contact 10,000 people in 1 week. It will take you months.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, it is not like that. No, according to the requirement of any company that we have to find out the candidate. For example, if we need a AWS architect for X and X company, so we should only search that AWS architect in the database. So if we have somebody there and we find out a qualified person in the LinkedIn, first thing we will send a message to him and ask him that we have an opportunity. So if you can send the profile to me, I will screen it and I will get back to you. That initial process that we will initiate like that. Then if that person sends that profile to us within 1 or 2 days time, we can process it. If that person do not send the message in 1 or 2 days time, that we have to find out some other source where we can get the data very fast. So one database is very much required actually to start the business efficiently. So that will cost around $2,000 for a year here for a very popular database.
And so you found somebody that wanted to invest, right? But he wanted 50% of the company, and
I have a person who is ready to invest money, but he is one of my friend and he is an immigration advisor in Australia. So he is ready to take whatever the money is required for the initial establishment of the company, but he wants 50% of the share in the company. And he may not be interested in AC to spend or to contribute to AC as such. So that is a big problem. So I was going to have a discussion with him that I think it is not a very interesting proposal, isn't it?
Before you close the door on him, what I would say is, why don't you invite him to come on to one of our calls and see if he's interested in what we're doing and what we're about and why we're creating ACE-X. I mean, if he wants to invest in it, he should know fully what he's investing in, right? So
Yeah,
you can bring him on and say, look, you know, we're interested in your proposal. Why don't you come and talk to my partners as well?
Yeah, that again, just to have a kind of word with him this week and see if I can bring him for next week.
Good, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, if he wants 50%, does that mean he wants the full control?
We don't have to think about it like that. We can just think about it like, I mean, that's his offer. We come back with him with what our offer is, you know.
Okay. Well, because there is also investors like just pure VC that's interested in just financial gain, I mean return on investment, and then people that want to drive us so the company towards what they want, right?
Any person that we talk to about our goal, it doesn't matter if they walk away from it investing money or time. If we've planted a seed in them just by talking to them, that's already doing our job, right?
So I mean, I can bring that person. You people talk and you people try to make him understand our visions, our program, because basically, since he is a known person to me, whatever I say may not be very, very attractive for him. But if you can explain, sometimes that will make a lot of difference. Okay.
Yeah. Ask him to come and talk with your partners.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we will plan for next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other orders of business?
I think no. We can wind up.
That was a really nice call. Huh? What?
Okay. Do you want to, I mean, we have closed on the topic on the shifting of humanity?
Well, okay, so, I mean, I just kind of briefly talked about what I exchanged with Maeva. She didn't really tell me so much about what she's doing. I mean, I know that she's working in health, public health. Oh, he's out of his milk. She's a very, like, she has very, actually, can I just go make him a little bit more milk and I'll be right back? You guys want to continue?
Then we can do a round table.
That's right.
We can do a round table. Matthew, how do you think we can shift humanity? What would be the first thing to do?
Yeah, the process is, shifting humanity would be more of a personal transformation happening in us, should be attracted by others. I mean, that is the way we can definitely shift. If we can create some kind of very good impact on the people around us, definitely.
But what does that mean, shifting? What shifting humanity means for you?
Yeah, shifting humanity means humanity's current model of growth has to be redirected to something different one.
Can you?
And which one? What is exactly your? What should we direct it to? What's your idea?
Yeah, a little more meaningful way of. little bit meaningful way of the business has to happen. I mean, a little more uh, uh, nature oriented, efficient, energy oriented, like that business has to happen. So if that kind of process is happening, then I mean that itself is a shift. So I mean that is what our idea, isn't it?
So you say by shifting the businesses so that they are more aware of their impact on the environment, the way they can do things more efficiently will steer the humanity towards
Yeah.
a different growth. That's what you say?
Yeah. Yes. I mean
Okay.
that is what I mean, and at the same time I have a feeling that the young generation is more of absorb that idea very welcome manner, because they all have that kind of feeling that we are not in a we are not moving in the right way. I mean, young generations, maybe people who born after some 90s. Huh? So we must catch that, like that energy, very influential way.
Why are you
Okay.
smiling, Michel?
Well, because the funny thing is that we are talking about growth and that type of thing, and that has been, to me, that has been the leitmotif in capitalism, business, whatever is growth, up to an unsustainable rate. And there is a lot of movement that is what they call degrowth, which is totally the opposite. And so maybe it's a question of balancing. Is you have the external growth, you want to decrease, and then improve the personal internal growth type of thing. But that's why I was smiling, because there's still in the mind of people that the more is better.
Mm.
And when we say more towards nature, it's more a question of reusing the resources that we have, the abundance. If we want to go from what you call it, the civilization type 0, 1, 2, whatever, type 1, where we use the whole energy of the planet, meaning we have to go through the most efficient way of consuming, of using our energy. And that's why we have to bring back the energy cost to zero, that type of thing, all the zero margin activity, is that we won't be able to use the whole energy of the planet until we fully efficient, energy aware of all what we consume, and we are not wasting it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I see myself, the shifting of the humanity, and it's not necessarily a growth, it's not necessarily something like that. So that's why I was smiling, but nothing against what Matthew presented.
Yeah, I understand, but I think that technology to evolve to that level is actually costly, isn't it? For example, if you wanted to create one floating accommodation, it will be much more costlier than what we build in the earth, isn't it?
On the ground, I agree. Except if you take the example of what is there was one guy that reused plastic bottle to build an island and built his house on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reuse of what already exists. I mean, that can okay, it's energy that is already being consumed, extracted from the soil into the shape of plastic bottle. A plastic bottle will float. Okay. So
upcycling and recycling, upcycling and recycling is a very, very good point, and we can save so much money. I'm just throwing out a figure here, but I think we can save billions of dollars on creating new projects just by using our trash.
Yes, it's a huge amount of energy that is there.
I
There's
mean,
so much energy in trash. If we
I
just
mean,
can, like, rewire our brains to use it efficiently, like, you know, there's all kinds of websites too that show you how to recycle and upcycle your goods. But the point is, it really takes, yeah, being in a mindset, like you being aware of that and being fully conscious on the individual level. Especially when you're in Switzerland, it's a lot easier, I found, because there's in Europe in general, because there's a really like a recycling culture.
But do you think people are fully aware? I think the awareness that we need to reach, I mean, at least to have a significant shift, is that when you have a plastic bottle, you should be aware of the earth, the resources on the earth that has been used, the petrol, oil, all those things. You have to feel that into your trip to make sure that this plastic bottle is used for a higher gain and not wasted, because it's already a huge impact and cost on the whole planet.
Yeah, that's very.
And I don't think people are aware about the cost. I mean, the ecological impact of this plastic bottle in the underdeveloped countries where you have the oil industry that is whatever doing to the local places.
Yeah, I mean, in Bangalore recently they have banned this plastic bags.
Yeah.
Oh, really? In Bangalore, they banned plastic bags?
Yeah.
Well,
we don't have.
Mexico is like that too.
Yeah, but Bangalore in India, that's like, I mean, I'm not surprised that it happens in San Francisco or Geneva, but in Bangalore in India, that's a pretty big deal, I would say.
Yeah, really. I mean, now only available, the carry bags are very environmental friendly.
Wow. That's a big shift.
Yes. I mean, yes. Yeah,
I mean,
if that is.
I've seen some. I mean, there's just so much. There's a lot of waste and trash in Asia, you know, and in general, there's not as much of a ecology, environmental conscious culture in India and stuff like that. So that's a pretty big deal, I would say.
You might have that in the new generation, though.
So yeah, really good. Okay.
Okay, so Alex, your opinion about how to shift humanity now?
My opinion about how to shift humanity. That's what I am doing with ACE.
If we can teach everybody yogic breathing, then everything will change.
Yeah,
that is panacea.
It always comes back to awareness. If we can raise self-awareness, pure self-awareness, then I mean that is the strongest tool. Self-awareness is going to cause the trigger in each individual to be just conscious and to act conscious, you know, and to, I mean, that's what it takes. Self-awareness.
So is school education, school training, workshop, that type of thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, oh man, you just spit up all over me. You just spit up all over me, little man. Okay.
I was willing to share my milk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, if you go to the website, you'll see all of the things that I have planned. Building the community, workshops, retreats, seminars. I've done a lot of this stuff already. I've done workshops, I've done retreats, I've done seminars. Having an educational nonprofit with a Wikipedia, forums, social network, newsletter, ACE Live.
Yeah, that is a very yeah, towards that kind of idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah. Can
raising
you tell us
awareness for
about
humanity. Huh?
again? Can you tell us about your Red Shoes activity? Is it in line with the workshop teaching and raising the awareness?
Yeah, I mean, so very soon, I started teaching every last Friday of the month. I'm giving a donation-based meditation happy hour. It's called Happy Hour at the Red Shoes in Baton Rouge. And I was completely happy to give it for free, but they told me at the place they just advertised it as donation based. So that kind of opens up the platform for me to either receive money, to receive energy in the form of currency, or to receive energy in return in the form of gifts from the universe. Either way, what you give, you get back. So I gave at my last meditation, I had like a trail mix that I made, with some raw cacao and dried cherries and nuts on the table, and I made 3 drinks. One of them was like a rose tea, and two of them had Ethereums in it. One of them was Ethereum Altera. The other one was Ethereum Pink to help with the DNA and to open the heart. And let me see if he wants to go in his little place. Here you go, honey. And they had some kind of green drink in them. So I opened up our little happy hour by offering a little bit of snacks, some chocolate, and some drinks. And then I did a guided meditation using instruments, crystal bowls, singing bowls, drums, and like maraca type things and cymbals. So I just gave this little happy hour. I guess I stayed there for an hour and a half, and it took me 2 hours to set up. And and I did a donation based. I received some money from the donations, and I also receive energy from it in other ways as well. Things sometimes just come to me, and that's the gift-based economy as spoken by Alix. Is all the energy that is given comes back. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That's one of the laws of physics. So, and that, that is our most stable and concrete and solid structure of economy that exists, is the laws of physics. There is no verification needed. There's no record needed of that because the universe knows it. Just because you put the energy out means that it's going to come back to you. And
well, I guess the record and then the whatever transaction needs to bridge with the whole system, right? If you want to bridge an economy, if you want to have this gift economy export and import from the other world, you need to have some kind of tools, right, for doing that.
Well, right now, at the moment, I was purely talking about giving the meditation, the gift economy, that I expressed during the happy hour meditation, and the economy, the microeconomy that I set up in that moment was purely based on freedom, Akashic Records, Ether, and I opened up the portal to receive energy in the form of money as well. I have absolutely no idea who gave me how much. Well, that's not true. I know one person did give me a certain amount of money because I saw her do it in the beginning. But other than that, you know, I have no idea who gave me what, but you know what? I know that in some way, through the butterfly effect, through the domino effect, I will get energy back from all of those people that received from me. It may not be directly, and I have absolutely complete certainty and confidence that it's going to come back to me. You know, and it does, or it already has. You know, that's the stability of the universe. That's, you know, it just exists. As long as the universe exists, then that law is going to be solid. So that was.
So in that case, you don't believe in the ACE coin, right?
Well, so that was one thing that I'm doing at the Red Shoes. Then I start teaching a yoga class there, probably this Friday coming up. And it's a very restorative, gentle, meditative class. I would say even for the third age almost, but anybody's welcome to come. But the core members are above 50. So, and it's like I'll probably be introducing more Kundalini into that. Now that I do get a set rate for. That's just the way their system is set up. That's part of the trans-capitalistic gift economy of ACE, you know, that we're completely open to capitalism. We interact with capitalism. We exchange via capitalism as well. And so that's part of who we are. As well, I'm going to be working at the YMCA, hopefully starting next week. I'm just waiting to get the word back. They have a backlog of applicants at the board, so I'm just waiting to get the go to do the classes there. And so for that, I'll be receiving currency as well, and I will be giving yoga lessons, basically whatever I decide I want to give. So. And you know, the value that they give me in money, it doesn't really matter because the value that I give in the class is what I'm going to get back. It doesn't matter if it comes in the form of money or if it comes in another form. It comes back to me.
The question that I have within ACE is that, is there a way that we can design so that we stimulate and foster that type of gift energy? You know, something like creating some little card, you know, that's say paid forward card type of thing, where people, if they receive something from ACE, then they have a reminder to give it back to the world or something like that. And at the same time, there's also card that they can exchange, and then they get us known. And that type of thing. I'm just wondering if we have some tools like that will change the mindset of the people.
Well, I know that you have in mind. I know that you have. Sorry, have you finished?
Yes.
I know that you have in mind doing this card, so why don't you do it? I used to make cards via Moo.com. They have amazing cards and designs and like thick printed cards. I used to use them like almost like tarot cards, and it's an amazing presentation piece. So I would be in support of you making some cards. If that's what you see, if that's what you're inspired to do, and you have that in your
I'm not saying for myself, because I'm just debating and asking if you guys have ideas to promote that type of mindset.
Well, I say go ahead, make the cards. Send us cards, you know. Send yourself some cards first. Try it out, because that's what so I'm in support of that.
Do you have the idea of promoting that?
Well, I just said the way that I do it. You know, I gave my meditation. I talked to them at the end about whatever I give, I receive, and you know, I'm doing it. I'm manifesting exactly what I am seeing as fast as I can. I tell you about what I'm manifesting, and then I do it, right? So I'm saying you're telling me about it. Why don't you go do it? Why don't you make it concrete? Go and print the cards, you know?
Why not? Because I was not thinking about that for myself. I was presenting the idea to the group. Matthew, any idea for promotion of the new gift mindset, the ACE mindset?
I don't have a suggestion at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I get my books published, you know, when my books are published, it's all falling into place as we speak, you know, like I have editing to do, I have bylaws to create.
Yeah, that would be a good way.
The bylaws are already created. I just need to compile them. I get the business plan together, register, you know, do the newsletter. All of these things.
How many books are there? How many books are there to publish? One,
I
two?
don't know. That's the thing, is that I have like at least like 5 manuscript books or 4 manuscript like documents that I've written, and then at least 400 pages typed, you know, on my computer. And I don't know how much of it is worth publishing in a first release, you know, like if I wanted to publish the raw stuff, that would probably only be interesting to people posthumously, after I've died, and people want to know where my inspiration has come from, right? So
we can add the stories of ours, each people's story, along with that material. Is it possible? Something like that we can make a book and publish?
Sure, and that's one of the things that in the newsletter, the monthly newsletter, I have already tried this before with my past newsletters, is having a featured person, you know, in the monthly newsletter, a featured member, you know.
That's a good idea, yeah.
I've done that in the past, and that's a slot that I am reserving in our monthly newsletter, is a featured member. So, that's what I'm putting together.
Establish connection, right?
It does. It solidifies the connection, you know.
Newsletter, is it for? Can we sell the newsletter, or we are giving it free?
At first, I think. I mean, at first, to me, it's just to give it, and eventually, if it's like. If it shows that that's appropriate, necessary, and feasible, we can make it monetized.
Okay.
But I think more what I have in mind is once the newsletter is stable to, you know, and once ACE is registered as an educational organization, we can maybe even get grants and funding for our newsletter.
Okay.
There's a lot of money out there that can just be, like, given, you know. When you're, especially when you're like a non-profit organization,
I understand.
everyone inside of them, even the capitalist of the capitalists, even them, they have a charitable side. They have a side that is spiritual, and so, you know, it's about connecting with them, inspiring them, touching them in that spot that opens up that gateway.
Yeah, it has a name. It is the philanthropy of the rich.
Philanthropy, yeah. Tapping the philanthropy bank account. So
exactly.
Which our philanthropy bank account, I would say it's really significant. It's just about getting organized enough to have the right presentation. So to ask for it. It's just about asking for it. Once we have the proper package together for asking, then it's there.
Yeah.
You give a gift, you receive a gift.
Yeah.
Right? You give, you receive. That's what it's about. So we prepare a package, and we give it, and then we'll receive. Right? That's what it's about.
I give you some gift. I am waiting for something.
That's the problem.
I've given you a lot of gifts as well, Matthew.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping tabs. Are you?
Yeah, India Kasha.
No.
Okay. On that note, I'm going to close today's session unless anybody else has something else to say of importance to our discussion today. Perfect. Matthew?
Perfect. Yeah. Yes. I mean, everything is perfect.
We are free. We are love. We are liberated. We are gift, and we are giving, and we are happy and special, and the same, but different, right? So we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Love you all. So let's also mention the next week agenda, right?
Go ahead.
Do you have someone planned for next week?
I think Matthew was talking about getting the Australian guy.
Oh, okay. I thought we had somebody scheduled.
Nope, nobody's scheduled. Well, I was talking about scheduling somebody. I can't even remember who it is at this point. So I have a backlog of emails to respond to right now. I thought it was 4. It's probably more like 6 with guests and things like that. So
next week that will be the Festival of the Earth, right?
Oh yeah, Earth Festival.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so everybody that are listening, they are welcome to join regularly our calls. It's happening every week, more or less at 3 p.m. GMT, and then you do the math for your time zone because I don't know everybody's time zone. And so we're here talking about the status of our activity in ACE, which is Advancements of Civilization efforts, and we also have regular talk about external peoples that share the same vision and views that we do. So welcome to join us. There is a link that is posted regularly on Facebook. We have a website. I mean, you can Google it, ACE, Advancements of Civilization Efforts. And there is also the Limitless, what is Limitless School?
Limitlessexistence.org. We have the Limitless School of White Magic and Tantra Yoga. We have the Limitless newsletter. We have the Limitless community. All of those.
And we are limitless. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Oh, and we have the Temple of Limitless Existence.
What one?
And we have the Temple of Limitless Existence. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Okay.
See you next week. Bye-bye.